This is a podcast divided. I'm Daniel, and I'm a Cubs fan,
And I'm Andy, and I am a Sox fan, believe it or not.
and we will start a podcast divided, episode 20, after the intro.
After the
Your Daily Cubs White Sox podcast, the best place for all the baseball debate you need.
And welcome back to a podcast divided. I am joined by my friend Andy here, and today we are going to be starting to talk about with Shohei Ohtani free agents, and then who had the most underwhelming season.
All right. So you were saying for that Shohei Ohtani was going to be wearing number 17 for the Chicago Cubs. And he ended up. Can you explain to us what happened? Is he a Chicago Cub?
So he ended up signing with the Los Angeles Dodgers, which
man,
is very weird.
No.
Yeah, it's not a good situation, and let's talk about it. Like, here's the thing, right? He signed for $700 million 10 years, appearingly. But then if you look at how the contract is structured, it's the weirdest contract I think I can say in sports by far ever. Because who defers like almost all of their contract? Like, I don't know what the percentage, but it's like 95%. Like, imagine going to a restaurant and saying, I'll pay for 98% of my steak layer in 20 years. Like, obviously it's a little different than that, but the whole prospect of the Dodgers saving money because of inflation and still being able to spend while signing the most expensive player in baseball, and that barely goes on their luxury tax, defeats the whole purpose of the competitive nature of the MLB, which the Dodgers and teams like that who can just spend money and now they don't even have to pay it for 20 years are doing. It's bad for baseball.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that you're salty and sassy because he didn't sign with the Cubs?
It's bad for baseball, not from a Cubs perspective, from a baseball perspective. Like, at least the Dodgers should have to pay for their players, because as a Cubs fan, if the Cubs don't sign him, right, I want at least the Dodgers to have to pay his salary in the next 10 years. Well, if he's going to be playing in the next 10 years.
Okay, think about it this way. When Ohtani's done with the contract and the Dodgers are bad, they're going to be even worse when they still have to pay Ohtani that amount of money. Isn't that going to be crazy to think of?
That's what most people would say is the plus. Only issue is that
you're a negative Nancy, yes.
I want, as a baseball fan, I want to see wins now, and instead of seeing wins now, I might see wins in 10 years, and that's not even Cubs related. And the Dodgers still will have enough money to pay for that. Also, inflation-wise, if you think about that, if inflation becomes even worse, this could be more, but he's probably going to lose that about like $300 million or $250 to inflation, just because if you think about how money will not be worth as much, and then like 2% a year, for example, that'll be 20% in 10 years. So the Dodgers didn't really sign him for $700 million because they're not paying him $700 million. So $700 million is less, but I feel like all the people I've listened to about baseball have been like a financial lesson recently. So I don't think we should talk about that much more. I think we should pivot to future free agents.
Okay, here we go again. Daniel's 2025 free agency list.
Coming up next. But first, this episode is brought to you by SeatGeek.
Oh my God. Yeah, SeatGeek. All right, SeatGeek. Get the best geek.
Use I can't get through this. Use code FORTBOYS for
All caps? Is that all caps?
$20 off. Yeah, all caps for
Okay.
$20 off your first
Okay,
purchase.
FARTBOYS.
Yeah, FORTBOYS for $20 off your first purchase.
Or if you want to be gangsta, be like FORTBOYZ for 21% off.
Thank you.
That last part's not true.
Yeah. Code FORTBOYS. And yeah, back to future free agents. So my 2024 free agents, like for the 2024 season, 2023 off season, my predictions can't be as high as they would have been if you had talked to me 2 months ago.
Yeah, I know. You were crazy.
And that's mainly because a lot of the top players on this market are not on the market. They're on teams.
Yeah.
And sadly, none of those teams are the Cubs. Well, we did get a AAA outfielder about 260.
And double A, right?
Yeah, double.
That's not even that good, and he's in double A.
Like, that cannot be our biggest signing of the offseason.
That'd be absolutely hilarious if it was. So who do you think are going to be your new free agents after this horrid stretch?
My new predictions. I mean, it's not that horrid. I mean, a lot of guys are still in the market. It's just those big impact players that we wanted. As a Cubs fan base and as a Cubs team, we all wanted those stars to build around. We're not going to get them probably. Like, there aren't really any stars left. Like, there are some pretty good pitchers. So, like, I don't see Corbin Burns being traded just because in Milwaukee, I don't think they want to make a deal with the Cubs unless the Cubs offer too much, and then I don't want that to happen either. I mean, like, he would be a perfect fit. It's just the Brewers are going to get their cheese in the way. But
what? Excuse me, Mom?
But from a perspective of another person, like, I feel like Glass now would be really good. Bieber would be really good.
Yeah,
we need at least one star. I think we need two. Like, maybe one's better though. And then we need like some relievers, preferably one of those closers. I don't know if we'll get Clase. He would be great. Hader's the free agent though. Clase, the Guardians have to be like, okay,
there's absolutely no way you're getting Clase.
The Guardians would have to be open to the idea of trading one of the best closers in baseball. So
he's probably the best.
And the Guardians, I don't know if they want to give him away, but Hader's an option. I mean, he's a free agent. The Cubs can sign him, but I mean, there haven't been too many connections with him. I actually saw a weird report today. The Cubs yesterday met with Liam Hendriks.
No.
And he's a free agent who's having time, who's like going to be out in the whole year next year. But he would be able to pitch in 2025. And they did have a meeting with him.
No. Liam Hendriks, Cub, not happening, my friend.
You don't think he's going to sign with us?
To put it delicately, hang on. Okay, yeah. Okay, so to put it delicately, no.
Because Liam Hendriks is definitely was an all-star. I don't know if he is an all-star.
Who was he an all-star with?
White Sox most recently. I don't know if was he an all-star before that, but
I think he was. I'm pretty sure he was.
One thing I know is that he is hurt. I believe. I don't know if he's having Tommy John next year or if he's rehabbing next year. I'm pretty sure he's out next year though.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, interesting development. Anyways, we shouldn't talk that much about him. I did also hear like a lot of stuff about like the Guardians stuff, but I don't know if that's just because they have a lot of players who could be traded that would fit for the Cubs. Because I don't know if they want to make a trade, but they're in a pretty bad division too, so I don't see why they shouldn't go for it. But and then other pitchers like Imanga has been connected to the Cubs.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's going to be a Cub.
Yamamoto is probably not signing with the Cubs. He's
Nope.
probably going to the Dodgers because the Dodgers deferred all that money, so I don't see why they won't sign him. And then anyone else?
I think you guys are going to get Rhys Hoskins or Josh Naylor.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even start there. Yeah, we've got some hitters who we're thinking about who are decent. I think an underrated guy is Brandon Belt. Had a lot of talk last year. He had a decent season last year. I believe like 900 OPS. But I don't know if he's not a good option, but he's better than nothing. And we're at this point in the offseason where like the stars are gone and we need to make the team better. And we're probably not going to build around anyone unless we sign Bellinger. And then he might underperform if we sign him. So we're going to have to go to a plan B, which is more of like the type of team that doesn't have a star, but they all kind of contribute their part. And maybe Seiya has a big year. Maybe Morel steps it up a bit, brings down that strikeout percentage. Wisdom gives us a career high 220 average. And the Cubs win their division with 85 games. Like, I mean, we're not at the point where I'm saying, like, we're going to get 90 wins and Ohtani's going to be hitting 50 home runs and it's going to be, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't think we're at that stage anymore. I think I'd be lying if I said that, but way too much for me to even say it. Like, beyond delusional. Because there are no stars out there who had even 5 wins to this team. But how about the White Sox? Do you think they're going to sign anyone, or do you think they should stick to the draft? And I mean, this is future free agents, but like I guess think about as future signings or moves for the White Sox in terms.
Oh boy. The thing about the White Sox is that we have zero motivation. Yet we're still making moves. And these moves aren't really like telling me that, hey, we're trying to win a World Series, but they're also not telling me that, hey, we're going to tank. These moves are telling me that, hey, we just want a new team with new players. So in my opinion, we're going to make a lot. We're going to see a very new team. At least these are my hopes. We're going to see a very new team by the end of the trade deadline. I don't think we're going to make too many moves this offseason. I couldn't tell you who we're going to get because it really could be anybody. I hope we get some good prospects. I hope we do trade Cease and possibly Elo. Yeah, Cease would be a great person to really get back some good players, some prospects.
I heard some Cease Cubs rumors.
Yeah, okay. You want to know what I think of that?
What?
Yeah, no.
And
so yeah,
I mean the Cubs and the White Sox have a trade history.
No, the Cubs and the White Sox do not have trade because you do not have enough value in prospects. So basically, Cease possibly Moncada.
Whoa! We have enough prospects. Now, will we spend our prospects?
You don't want your stupid garbage prospects. Okay. Anyway, who had the most underwhelming season?
Farm systems in baseball.
Yeah, no. That's not true. Okay, anyway, most underwhelming season, I would have to say we did because we were awful. We had – okay, so I got to set you some context here. 2021, great. Okay, this is a young team. This is fantastic. 2022, underwhelming, extremely underwhelming. But you know what? Maybe that was a bit of a down year. Maybe we'll have a new season this season. Maybe more than 81-81, maybe more than 500. And then we just absolutely pooped on everybody's hopes and dreams. So, in my opinion, overall, I think the worst season went to the White Sox. What about you?
I'd say the reason why we're having this debate in the first place
because I suggested it.
To have it because the Cubs did have expectations being crushed. However, the White Sox crushed their they yeah. You see what I just did there? I choked. And that's what the Cubs did.
Yeah, okay, fine. Then I'll just poop on your face, just like how the White Sox pooped on all of our faces.
And the White Sox broke their expectations so low, so soon, I mean, that no one really thought about them by Labor Day. Like they were kind of irrelevant. Like
Okay, buddy.
no one even thought about them like before even summer started. Like, yeah, but I mean, like they weren't relevant. The Cubs, they had a weird season where they were bad, then really good, and then they choked it all. And there were a lot of highs, but it was an emotional roller coaster for the fans, for the team, and we needed to get better. And so far, we've gotten worse. And it's definitely underwhelming to have that happen because in a season, a lot of things have to go right for you to have success. And a lot of them did until that end. And if things go right for so long, if to end like that, it's just a disappointment. But I think the White Sox were worse, losing 100 games. But
okay, yeah, 100
both were
games.
bad.
You know,
Both were
actually,
bad.
it wasn't 100 games. It was 101. Get it right, you foul swine. Can't get your facts straight. Although I wish it was 100. One game.
Yeah, I'll put that number up for you guys.
We don't need. Okay, everyone knows what 101 means.
101 losses.
Choke the season.
So
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
it's fair to say both teams had some pretty sad moments in their
Yeah,
year.
well, welcome to Chicago sports, everybody.
But thankfully, the Cubs at least had a better one. But yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. It's been a very, very bodacious time with everybody, especially with you, Daniel, and your bogus claims. Okay, yeah, nice. Congratulations on that stupid. I think the W flag is actually a myth. I think it was just invented by the fans to cope. So yeah, it's been a great time. Daniel, any closing words besides the Cubs will get Ohtani because somehow they'll like trade for him or
He's going to
fail his physical? Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Okay. So thank you guys for watching. It's been a good time. Don't forget to use code 4Boys on SeatGeek. Don't forget to subscribe to watch more of our podcasts. And don't forget to be a Cubs fan. Until next
forget
time.
to be a Cubs fan. If you, unless you want to like take away some years of your life, then yeah, you go ahead. Be my guest. Be a Cubs fan.
Until next time, this is Daniel, the Cubs fan,
and this is Andy, I guess, and I'm still a Sox fan.
and this is a podcast divided.